Well, hello everybody. It's another version here of Midfield Madness. I don't usually do a Group 3 race, because the Mark Pocock broadcast is usually pretty good. But in this case, it was excellent as usual. There was a great battle between 4 or 5 drivers in the last last half of the pack here. So I thought I'd do a Midfield Madness of that. I'm not even going to bother going through the standings here because that was done by Mark also. So anyway, this is I'm going to start here with just about a half lap in or something like that, because there was a big pile up at the beginning too that you can see in Mark's. Let's just go play here. Where's my cursor doesn't show. There we go. So it's a pretty packed in group here with Brian Banks and myself and Andy Lees, and it's going to be part of the group that's there's Andy, myself, Andreas, and who else was involved? Eric. Anyway, there's a group of 4 of us throughout the whole second half of the race. So we're on each other's tails the whole time. So we'll start it off here and watch this. Some great racing that went on. We'll go ahead here. See, look at this. Eric and Brian Banks. Myself. Going with the wrong direction here, sorry. Andreas is behind us. I forget Mr. Harvey's first name. He's a pretty fast guy. I think he got wrapped up in that first place battle, and he's gonna pass us all at some point. Little driver point of view here for a bit. Myself and Brian, Eric. I went wide here. Got to lose a place. There he goes. Forget Mr. Harvey's first name again. He passed me, and he's going to eventually pass everybody along the way. But Andy's on my tail, and Andy and I are going to be in each other's tail the whole race. Just so you know, I followed him for quite a bit, and everybody who races in Group 3 knows that Andy is tough to pass. He does not make any mistakes. He does not back down. I believe, and I'm subject to other judgment, I believe I was slightly faster than him in his Lexus today around certain corners and whatnot, and I'll just be very blunt, he held me back a little bit, but so hard to pass either on this track and doubly hard to pass our buddy Andy Lees. I haven't looked at his stream yet, but I will at some point. But anyway, this is the main battle is going to be between him, me, Mr. Collins, and Andreas. But this was the beginning of the pack here. So Andy's on my tail at this point, and Andreas is on his tail. We're spread out comparatively. This is spread out for the rest of the game because you'll see we'll follow. Oh, there's the first problem. Let's pause that. Back up a little. See what caused. Maybe I'll take Andy's point of view to see what happened. Slow it down slightly. There we go. So this is actually the first little dust up that everybody has. And I think he braked a little later than he usually does and poked me. Not too much damage. I think he got the worst of it. He just kind of pushed me forward, so Andy ends up behind a little bit. I'm not sure whether his car was damaged. I know Mark. I'm going to back up a little bit, see what the whole scenario was in terms of. Andreas passes me eventually. Oh, that's why, because I went off, and Andreas got ahead of me. That's good. What was I talking about? Yeah, just first of many dust-ups there with between a bunch of us here. So we ended up 7, 8, 9. We're kind of in this place for the whole race. Get rid of the panel at the bottom there. There's another. There's a bit of trading paint went on in this game, or in this race, I should say. Driver point of view for a while. Fun racing, very fun racing. See how close we're all together. Because I think we're all slightly different speeds on this track, but so hard to pass. Let's go ahead to Andreas' point of view. I think Mr. Harvey ends up at the front of the pack. Interval times on the HUD doesn't seem to be right. I'm right behind him and he's right behind Mr. Harvey. They'll update on the segment, section. Oop. Always look at let's watch for a change. Let's watch the hood view. We don't watch that very often. Look how close he is to Eric. Close racing. Well, look at how close he is. So he's got a little bit of momentum going here. Let's see what he does through the chicane. Oh, it's a long well pulled off on. This is driving a Bentley and the Mercedes. Oh, I passed him here. Oh, this is one of my. I'll stop this for a sec because this was a point of contention in the race from Mark's point of view. I'll go back to car behind. That would be me, I believe. I actually have. I was quicker on the chicane than some other guys, and but this time, and I knew that, and at this point. I wasn't really trying to pass, but I think I missed, either I got brake fade a little bit, which I think happens sometimes to me, or I just missed my point a little bit. And I didn't intend to pass at the chicane. I was kind of trying to get momentum going. And then I had to brake, I had to go wide and brake because, well, I kind of had Andy at this point, didn't I? That's interesting. I didn't mean to go through the chicane here to pass Andreas as it happened. I tried to stay away from him and lost the position, which is fine in the sense of Andy should pass, but I think I kind of let him go by at this point because I didn't feel like I should gain advantage going through that chicane. The next time I go through it and I caused a problem was not meant to be trying to pass at that chicane. Those were mistakes on my part. Let's go back to the speeded up version. So now we're back to the same four guys in a different order. So I've got a second to catch up on the other guys. Andy Skelton is behind all of us, and he's very quick today, and ends up, spoiler alert, ends up being quite far in the front. So he's gonna be going through all this traffic. So Andy went wide at some point, and he ended up behind me again. Won't bother backing up and see how that happened, because it's going to happen so often that we're going to trade places that it's not worth going through every one. So the two Andys are battling it out for a bit. Like I said, Andy Skelton's got lots of pace today. So seeing how long it takes him to pass all these cars tells you how tough that track is. He's about 3 seconds faster than these four cars that are in this little pack. And you see how hard it is for him to get by us. Of course, Andy Lees is not a tough, easy guy to get by to begin with. So we'll just watch this little battle for a bit because it's going to happen. And Mr. Pedersen is also showing some spunk there. There we go, there's all three of us. Maybe, you know what? Let's follow Andy in a driver view. See how he actually gets by See how he actually gets by all of us. It's kind of fun to watch because we're a little spread out at this point. And again, I'm not going to go to the front here. I'm not just going to show you this battle between you know, 7, 8, and 9 positions the whole race. The characters only change slightly here. The order changes. I'd like to be interesting to see how Andy gets through the pack here. And to see where he's faster. Not faster on the straight here. 2 Lexuses exactly the same. Both got the good exit on that corner. There he goes. He outbroke 2 of us. Maybe 1.5 of us on that last corner. The first corner, I guess. Let's... we'll go back. And Andreas went a little wide there. I'm following him, and I'm following him pretty closely. And the BMW seem to have some good handling in the corners compared to some of the other cars. I don't know that it had good. Maybe it was me. I should say. I guess it was me because the BMW does better. Some of the other guys are driving a lot better than I did. I had trouble with the setup here. I know I changed some setup parameters just before the race. As a matter of fact, I actually got better performance out of it than I had. Yeah, it's pretty close racing here, isn't it? Neither of us touched each other. Very nice on both our parts. He's pretty quick. Interesting to watch my own line through all these corners. Is he gonna outbreak me in this corner? Nope. So I slid a little bit there. This corner I had trouble with sometimes. I think this is where I lost most of my second or 2 based on compared to some of the faster guys. But I certainly had momentum on Andreas when I took a peek and he went defensive. And Andy's. This is where okay, I'm gonna back up on this one. This is unfortunate, big time. And I caused this problem. Let's go back here and we'll watch it from my point of view. No, too far. Pause. We will go to my point of view. Car ahead. My point of view. Is this the right? Maybe I will do a cam this way. All right, again, I didn't really mean to cause this, and I wasn't really trying to pass him in the chicane, but I was basically trying to get momentum. Slow it down a bit. Kind of get momentum so that I could have some speed on the other straight. So I kind of took a peek here, but that's kind of my normal line through here. That's what happened. I had to brake to avoid him, and then hit the chicane and then hit him. Eric, really sorry I ruined your race. And for everybody else too, but Andy was on my tail. If you go back, Andy's on my tail, so I don't want to brake or lose too much momentum there. I was afraid of him hitting me, and then I stop it here. Go back seconds and look at it from my point of view. Hood, me. Possibly, I guess I could have backed off here. Oop. But I really didn't want to back off too much. And look how close Andy is to behind me. I'm worried about him. So when I took this peek, I wasn't really trying to pass him, but he broke before I did, and I was not able to control it through that corner. Anyway, totally screwed up everybody's race there, or a few people's races, and I really didn't mean to. So let's go back forward here, and Andy gets by me for the first time. Andy leaves us further back and rejoins this group. And I'll pass. We're a little bit spread out here, so I'll forward it a bit because we get closer together a little bit later in the race, where the battles continue. And second behind Mr. Collins here, and Eric is through back. Andy Lees ends up with a problem somewhere. How far ahead is he? Andy's 8 seconds ahead. I think he goes wide at some point and rejoins us all at in this place. So I think we'll jump ahead again, and battle between the two of us. Let's see how that transpires. And see, I think that's Andy ahead of yes it is. So is it? Yes it is. So Mr. Collins is only a second behind Andy. So Andy had a problem and lost about 5 or 6 seconds and joined us in this group. And this is going to be the case for the rest of the race pretty much. Everybody had different lines here and abilities to take that corner, so a lot of passing, a lot of catch-up takes place. I was able to catch up quite a bit on that first corner when I needed to, in terms of times. That was one place I would catch up, and the second place was actually through the chicane. I could catch up on people when I was by myself and not causing accidents. So I don't know Mr. Collins' first name here. I should have looked it up beforehand, but I just wanted to do this quickly this afternoon. We're still a little bit spread out. I'll forward it up a little bit, but not too far. Close. Somewhere I pass Mr. Collins. Let's watch it from here. I don't think it was great racing on my part, if I remember correctly. Maybe I took a chance on one of these corners and outbroke him, and that was pretty. It was a pretty dramatic pass, so maybe I will follow this through. There it is. It was quite a pass, wasn't it? Let's go back and watch that again. Let's see if this was a dive bomb or not. Shall I watch it from my point of view? And let me see where I broke. I usually break just on the other side of that road that's right over here. I don't know if the mouse is visible on the screen, but I usually break just beyond that road. So let's see what happens. And let's slow it down a bit. It's a pretty exciting pass. And let's get it going. I broke a little later. No, I usually break years where my breaking point is now. That's my normal breaking point. Andreas braked a little earlier. So it does not look that dramatic from that point of view. I kind of slid through the corner but was able to hold on to it. But I had to go down to first gear. So if we go back another, watch that again in fast motion now. You can see how exciting it was. Maybe I'll do a hood view. He broke a little unexpectedly for me, and I was almost avoiding him, but it turned out well for me. Go back again, maybe watch it from his point of view. Well, he's got a bad hood. Yeah, he was having. Oop, what do I got here? Wrong guy. Go back. As you can see, I make sure I get the right guy here. This is me. I want to go ahead one. So this is what it looks like from Mr. Collins' point of view, and he's got some damage here, doesn't he? He's not getting his full potential. But he went a little wide also. Thank God, he must have saw me coming through. He's probably got triple screens. I left a little rubber there. I noticed too. So anyway, Mr. Collins, if you thought I dive bombed you there, I kind of did, and I kind of didn't. And you, unfortunately, I think you've got some damage, aero damage, so you can't catch up on the rest of us. I think that was it for you in terms of getting positions on the rest of us. Now it's, well, you gave it a good shot here. Maybe you do keep up. Look at it from your point of view for a while. I went, that's wider than I usually go, but I was able to hang on there and get some grip. I was slower on this part of the road. I never did figure out that corner perfectly to my satisfaction. Both took this corner very well. It's very easy to over speed on that sense. I drifted a bit wide there. That's a good driver view. Yeah, BMW sure drifts a lot. I know, Mark, you mentioned that at one point if you're listening about how you like to drive the BMW and drift, and owning a BMW, I think it's due to the weight distribution on road BMWs. There's a design parameter that 50%, within 1%, the weight has to be distributed between the front and the rear wheels. So that makes for great drifting. Not that I drift on my car very often. I have a 245, but that allows the car to kind of hang together properly, not have the back end fly out when you're drifting. So if GT3 cars have that same design parameter, you would see how that would be good for drifting. I'm getting up behind Andy for the first time. So watch this battle a little bit. And again, I'm going to say that I felt I was a bit quicker than Andy in some parts, but really tough to pass, and really tough to pass Andy. So I think we're going to be following each other quite closely for quite a while here. Just the driver point of view to see what I was looking at in terms of trying to get by everybody. I think he made a mistake once in a while, and then I'd make a mistake and we'd trade places. He had wide. He had a wide preferred line through that corner, so see he holds on to it. This is a classic, let me stop this one. This is a classic, let me back up, two different lines through a corner, hairpin corner. Let's go to the high view. So again, I'll slow it down just slightly. Andy always takes the wide view. We're both taking our normal lines, let me put it that way. So I try to cut that corner. He goes wider. As long as he can get grip, he'll stay ahead. And he gets the inside on this next corner. So I wasn't able to pass. The only time I would pass anybody, pass him, I think I might have passed him once, that he went way wide and couldn't get his grip back on the top end of that on that corner. So that's the issue for that corner. If you get into the marbles, maybe you don't quite get as much grip, and then you lose the advantage of going there. Because he got to brake a little later, I believe, and then he has to go wide, and I would brake a little earlier and take the inside line. We're not going full speed here. Andreas is still taking a look at me, isn't he? Let's go to a driver view and look at him. So this is why I did the Madness podcast today, that I don't, or broadcast today, because I don't usually do it. It's just because this battle at the back that you guys didn't get to see in Mark's broadcast too much was pretty exciting. Pretty much fun, even though we're probably lapping here, probably two even. So I don't think either of us are doing too many 159s. Andreas went a little wide there, but we're all pretty evenly matched around the 2-minute flat mark, so it made it fun. Let's go to me here because I'm a bit closer. A little bit ahead of Mr. Collins at this point. See, whoa, he took a big bump there. I think I gained a quarter second on Andy on that loop. Oh yeah, I noticed this in the race. He disappeared for a second and then reappeared. Luckily, it didn't throw me off too much. Did you guys see that? Let's go back. Wonder what happened there. Watch going into that corner. I'll slow it down a little bit. Oop, not 3 times. Sorry. Oh, there you saw it. He'll disappear in the middle of this corner just before the apex. Gone. There he is again. Just threw me for a bit of a loop. Mr. Collins falling a little bit behind on us there. Let's see how our line looks going through this corner again. See if Andy takes the high line again. No, he took a different line. Maybe he got nervous because of the last time. Not nervous is not the right word, but maybe he took a different line because he felt it was not good for the last time we tried, and I almost got him on it. So hard, so easy to hit the throttle too hot on that corner and either spin a little bit or spin out. Get some wheel spin on that corner. It's really, you got to really be careful to feather your throttle. I found on that one. See if I can catch up here. I'm a half a second behind here. Those corners are so technical. Yeah, I got a little bit closer to him there. I took a nice line that time. See if I got some momentum. So this is the long straight just before the chicane. Now watch how I can catch up with him a bit in the chicane. Maybe I won't this time. No, I didn't this time. Oh, we're not at the chicane, that's why. This is the chicane, isn't it? No, not yet. This chicane's coming up now. So if we look at that interval, see if I catch up. What am I looking at this for? See, I do often catch up. So that's why I had so much trouble with people on that chicane causing problems. See, that time I backed off a little bit because I didn't want to hit Andy. Anyway, a little bit of my explanation for my reckless behavior in the chicane today. I'm sure I'm going to get a penalty for that second time that I caused an issue, because I didn't have advantage on anybody. Well, I guess Andy doesn't always take that high line. He goes a little bit wider at the top than I do, but he doesn't go really wide too often, maybe when he wants to try to outbrake somebody on that corner. What happened there? Did he pass us? Or did I go to the wrong guy? Oh, this is Andy. This is what I wanted to see. Mr. Collins. For a while. It's too bad that Mr. Collins got a bit of damage there in his hood, because he must have had way better pace when he had no aero damage. He sure is keeping up to the two of us. And he went a bit wide there. And spun a little bit. See if I take advantage of that. Both pretty much on the edge of our respective setups. I got a good... Oh, hit the gravel. I had momentum there. If I hadn't hit the gravel, I might have been able to hang in there a little bit. You'd think that more people would pass on this little short straight, but it's really tough. Really tough. Watch, I think. See if I have a good chicane here. I do. I see it. Whoa, I almost lost it. Well, he must have lost it here, so Mr. Collins fell behind there. I don't think he's going to be able to catch up with his aero damage. So for a while it's just me and Andy in battles. But we do, if I'm not mistaken, Andreas gets a problem and we catch up to him, and this becomes a three-way battle, because he's 6 seconds ahead of Andy right now, but he will come back to us at some point, so he must have had an issue. Oh, I almost lost it there. I held it together. So easy to flip out of there. I'm finding that, I'm sure the rest of you are too, that the new 1.8 version of ACC, that there's no way I would have caught that one in the old version. I'd have been gone. But in the new version, the tire model allows you to, I think, recover from those spins a bit better. A possibility of recovering if you're fast enough on the reaction times. But in the old game they were gone. I don't know if everybody agrees with that. I find anyway. I'm as I told people on the Discord, this is my last race for about a month. I'll be driving 3,000 kilometers to Eastern Canada to visit my family that I haven't seen in 3 years since COVID started. So I'll be out of away from my rig. I'll probably join a few podcasts online or streams online and comment, but won't be able to race for a month. I think I might catch up. I might catch a few, maybe the last race or so. But good luck to everybody else with the points. Geez, that Lexus throws a bit of flame there when he's downshifting. It'd be cool at night to see that. So I think I'm faster than Andy today because I can catch up when I lose a second and a half. It just shows you how tough it is to pass Andy and tough it is to pass on this track. Kudos, Andy. I'll have to watch your stream to see what kind of comments you have about me. I'm not the best passer in the world, so I usually make my gains in the grid by following people and making a mistake, but that doesn't work with you, Andy. I've only been racing for the last 18 months, I guess, or I don't think it's 2 years just yet, but my racecraft isn't quite up to the snuff as the rest of the guys in this league. Getting better, my times are better since 1.8 came out. Oh, it's getting pretty close here. So now I'm trying to plan my momentum around some of these corners so that I can get some momentum and pass later on, as opposed to being too close, as Jeremy warned us at the drivers' meeting. You get into a lot of trouble following really close, and I agree with him on this track. Because, I tried to stay behind. You know, there was an interesting Eris Drives video about that. When you're this is a better chicane for me. When you're trying to pass somebody, to lay back a little bit and lay off just before a corner and gain your momentum through the corner so you can get on the exit. So if anybody hasn't seen that one and having trouble like me passing, that's something that is a good idea to watch. Oh, I didn't. We'll watch this again because I tried to outbrake him at this point. Either that or I just missed my point. Let's look at the overhead view, and this is another classic. You can't outbrake people and think that you're always going to hold it, or more often than not you are not going to hold it. So here we go. I broke late than I usually did. You know, you think I have the advantage. Hopefully we touch each other a little bit, nothing too bad, but I didn't gain any advantage there. Obviously I couldn't hold the speed, so Andy, if we take a peek at it from Andy's point of view. Hold on. Maybe we'll watch it full speed. Let's see on his, and we'll watch it driver view, and watch it from his point of view and see what he did to avoid us both getting a mess. Let's see me coming back here. Oh, so I was very lucky that we didn't both have a bad problem here. That was my fault for not quite dive bombing, but pretty close. So I didn't end up too far behind, and luckily Andy didn't get too much damage. I was a bit more reckless than I usually am in this race, maybe psychologically, because I knew it was my last race. Oh, Andy would have. I'll have to watch Andy's comments on that one, on that corner. Maybe I'll get some nasty words from him. But I'm sure he enjoyed this battle. Spicy battle. And I'm sure he was proud of holding me back for all these corners. But I do get my revenge cleanly. See it through the chicane a little bit faster. Took a peek. Then I lay off. Hoping that he makes a mistake, and he makes a little mistake, but I don't think I get him here. We'll have to watch this one from the overhead point of view, but if I'm not mistaken, he's passing. Yeah, let's go back and watch that one. Another great little battle here. Let's go back a couple of seconds. Maybe even past this one and look at it from an overhead. Maybe a little slower. See, I take a peek here, then I lay back because I know I'm going to make it on this corner. And that's what Aris suggests you do, and then you gain momentum coming around the corner. Now he almost hits me. Now I think I have an advantage. Neither of us have triple screens, I know that. And it looks, yeah, he got the inside corner, and he was able to stick it, keep it stuck. Oop. So these are all classic racing lines and battles that ensue. Okay, let's go back to you for a while. Oh, I had a nice corner here. Ooh, it's spun, wheel spin a little bit. I'm getting a new wheel soon. I don't know if I mentioned that earlier in the podcast. I'm getting a CSL direct drive with a podium endurance Porsche wheel. So it's not going to make me any faster, I don't think. But oh, this is where I gain. Back and watch that. This is where I gain a position on Andy. Cinecam. I think he just missed his braking point here. That was a missed braking point, or just maybe he got some wheel lockup because it's his usual braking point. And he went way too wide this time and got into the marbles, and he had no grip at all. I was able to get ahead of him, and I think I stay ahead of him. Back up again. So it didn't look like his braking point was much past where he usually does. And Andy, maybe you have a comment on that. I find once in a while you'll get a brake fade, maybe because your brakes are too hot, or get rid of that grid, or you lock up, and of course you lock up and you lose braking force also. So let's see where everybody is, and now Andy is quite a bit behind Andreas. So I think again Andreas comes back to us at a certain point. This battle turns into 3 people, I think. Oh no, it's pretty much the same here for a while. I'm going to scoot ahead a few times because I don't know that Andy catches up too much. I'm going to stay ahead of him. Oh, there he is. Back up a little bit here. See what happens. Let's see if Andy tried to make up some time by braking late on that first corner. So he is about a second behind at this point. Catches up here a little bit, it looks like. Both have clean corners, just better braking on his part. I hung in there. How does he catch up so much in the next few corners? Do I make a mistake? Chicane? Yes, I make a mistake at the chicane. That's what happens. So he catches a second or so. I was able to hang on to it. Not cause too many problems. Just hit that sausage, I believe, in that first part of the chicane. That's why I lost the control coming up. I was pretty aggressive in that chicane all the way through. I seem to have found a line that I can be very aggressive if I had to be. Now, what I'm interested in is seeing where he brakes. I'm going to back up just slightly here. Pause it. Look at it from... Oop, no, that's not what I want to do. Sorry. Back up from his point of view and just see where he brakes. This corner. He can see himself where he brakes right. That's pretty late. Or early, I should say. So I don't know what happened to his braking point at that point. So he didn't catch up there. I know at the end of the race, I catch up with Mr. Peterson, so he makes a mistake because he is 9 seconds ahead of me. I'll watch it for. And he's going to do. And he's going to do. Engine noises are pretty loud, especially this Lexus. It really screams. Andy, I know, loves to pass people and loves to get a position on people. He's going to go all out here in the last few laps. There's only 2.5 laps left. Let's see how far on the edge he goes. I was drifting a little too much there. Held it together, mind you. Andy, you lift off quite a bit. I didn't have to lift off quite as much on that first part of that. And there's Andreas ahead of us, so he made a mistake there. Next segment, it'll show our interval time. I got pretty close to Andreas at the finish, but I believe Andy is a bit further behind than he is now. I'm just so much faster than Andy, that's why. Just kidding, Andy. Yeah, nice chicane there for you. Caught up a little bit. But I think you must make a mistake because you're not that close to me at the finish line, I seem to remember. I know, I'm sure it's because you were pushing as hard as you could. I think I had like 0.2 of a second on you per lap on this at this point. So I think it's either me to make a mistake or you to really push it hard. Pushed it hard there, didn't you? A tiny bit wide. A second and a half or 2.5 seconds behind Andreas at this point. So I'm actually pushing pretty hard to catch up to him because I think, hey, I've got a couple of minutes left here. I might be able to catch him. But I think I make a mistake that costs me a little bit of time. Let's see what happens. Oh yeah, Andy, you're really going around that corner with abandon. Are 2.6 and 1.3 of these three cars at this point. Caught up there. I had a wheel spin, didn't I? Nope, that's alright. Fun to watch a race from a different point of view. And here we go. Andy chicane. Yeah, you held together really nicely there. I hit the gravel. That affected me a little. So you should catch up, Andy, at this point. Some momentum on me. I'm probably going to take this next chicane with some aggression. Because I know you're behind me. Yep, I have a nice line through there. So did you. You're probably going to be only less than a second behind me at this point. Let's see what it shows. 1.5 seconds, and I'm right with Andreas. Show it. 2 seconds behind Andreas. And you're 1.2. It's a pretty good battle here in the last lap, isn't it? Everybody's going at the limit here. I hate this corner so often. Yeah, see, I was very careful on the throttle coming out of that one. I look like I'm pretty close to see what it looks like from my point of view. See, I feel like I'm pretty close there. We'll watch it way at the back here, see what happens. And he lost a 1/10 of a second there, I think. I'm really up Andreas' butt, so I think I have a chance here in the last few corners, but I think I make a bit of a mistake somewhere. Oh, Andy's quite far behind. Let's back up just for completeness' sake. Let's back up and see what happened to Andy, and then I'll come back to my car behind. Let's see here. Okay. Are you closer? There, you're pretty close. That's me, sorry. We'll go back another 5 seconds. And then we'll see. Andy. Take a look at Andy, how you did in the final quarter lap here. Pushed really hard there and went a bit wide, I think. Had to slow down quite a bit. Let's see if we lost momentum. That's a nice chicane. Didn't hurt you any. Pretty good job here also. Oh, I remember now what happened. Yeah, Andreas went off. That's why I gained the spot. Back up and watch out. Let's see what happens from Andreas' point of view. Car ahead, car ahead. We'll just watch it. It's from here. Oh, just lost it in the corner. And you caught it without hitting anything. You could have spun right out there. And then we both passed you, I believe. Two of us, and this is the last corner of the race. So anyway, I thought I'd do a replay of the back part of the pack so you guys could see it. And oh, everybody believes, yeah. Did you run out of gas, buddy? Does it show your fuel? No, it doesn't show fuel, but Jeremy thought that you ran out of gas here at some point, at this point, and just kind of had to coast through. I guess you did. Anyway, that's it for the podcast, and back to the beginning. Thanks a lot for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed it, and we certainly, the 4 or 5 of us that were in the back of the pack, certainly enjoyed this race, I think. That's it for now, and I won't be doing any podcasts for probably, I might do one next week for a Porsche Cup or something on the GT4 race, and after that I'll be off the air for a while. So thanks for tuning into Midfield Madness again, and we'll sign off.